Greetings, citizens of Podcast City. I ask you to look upon me and heed my warning. As of this moment, you are all now fully aware that the following program is rated mature and is intended solely for those of the legal age to smoke, vote, and purchase pornography. If you find yourself at all easily disturbed by the harsh realities of obscene language, then perhaps you should turn back now before your mind becomes permanently stained with the wicked ways of professional wrestling. Every conceivable form of listener and viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Beat me if you can. Survive if I let you.
Let's get nuts.
Pull the fucking trigger! My kids, I'm hateful, I'm the tattoo clown. I'm screaming nothing really matters, motherfucker, burn it down. Listen up now.
Welcome to Thunderdome, bitch.
And here we are. It's never pleasant or fun to start off a show with a 10-bell salute, but we figured in honor of our fallen comrade there, Wolverine, Amy's love and joy, we figured it would be nothing. We figured it would be appropriate to give Wolverine the 10-bell salute. So, rest in power. Go see my dogs up there. And you'll be missed, bud. You'll be missed.
Yes. So, fallen comrade from the world of, what do we call the show again? Oh, yeah, After Work Tuesdays. Yes.
Something like that.
He was always a big supporter of us, I know. And we're gonna miss our fallen buddy. But he's hanging out with my old boy Diablo now, so he's in good paws. Don't you worry.
And my boys, Rainy and Diamond, the dogs. So, that could be a good tag team matchup there. The brother and sister versus Diablo and Wolverine.
Right? What a matchup. I like it.
I got to say, Wolverine and Diablo take the cake on that one.
I believe that.
There was a lot of rage there.
Well, especially with Diablo alone.
Oh, yeah. You knew Diablo. Oh, yeah.
Hated Diablo.
Oh, yeah. And he made sure he knew how he felt about you, too, didn't he?
Oh, Diablo scared me.
He was good at that, yeah. I used to wake up in the middle of the night. He'd just be like on my chest with like one claw at my throat, just making sure I know who's in charge. So he didn't mess around, that Diablo. Mm-hmm.
Or he's sitting there like, just test me, push me off the bed and see what happens.
Oh man,
I'm slicing your jugular.
Yeah, that was the best hunting cat I ever met in my life, man. I used to watch him eat whole rabbits. You see little bunny feet going up like spaghetti. Oh,
I have found 3 decapitated bunnies in the past week in my yard.
Nice. Yeah. 'Tis the season for decapitating.
It is what it is. Everyone's got to stay fed.
Yep. Stay on the hunt.
You know it. So, on that note, how are we doing out there, folks? Mr. Torrance, Miss Nighthawk, how are we doing?
Oh, I'm just dandy like candy myself. How about you there, Miss Nighthawk?
Still breathing.
That's all we can hope for, right? Mm-hmm. On a day above ground. We haven't turned into zombies yet, so things are still working for us at the moment.
I know. Every day I wake up as a zombie, and I don't.
Yeah,
I kind of want to be a zombie, though.
If you saw me in the morning, you know that zombies are a real thing, actually. Yes.
So before we get into the world of wrestling, I thought it was quite interesting that Mr. Torrance, you and I are both hatred of summer and the sun. You and I are both hatreds of the beach, usually.
I did make it to the beach the other day, first time in 6 years.
That's where I'm going to.
Mm-hmm.
We both made it to the beach on Sunday.
Oh, wow. Hell officially has frozen over this week, huh?
It has.
You too, huh? I didn't even know if you had ever been to a beach in your life.
Once when I was a wee lad.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting. That was interesting that the two people that hate summer the most and the sun the most went to the beach.
Well, in my defense, I mean, as you know, yes, I'm like Mr. Freeze, if you will. I really anything above 70 degrees is like death for me, and I'm not a fan of this time of year. Hate the humidity, hate all that jazz. But when I did go to the beach, we actually went at like around 6 o'clock, so you don't have that Sahara burning sand that you're trying to walk through. Shit. And there was still a decent amount of tourists for me to horrify as I emerged from the water and beached myself up on the sand. So, yeah, I got my kicks in for first time in 6 years. Who knows? Maybe it won't happen again for another 6 years. So,
yeah, I saw your post. I was actually cracking up at the way you worded that. It was worded more perfectly.
Just stating the facts, my friend. Just stating the facts.
Oh, so what is going on in the world of wrestling this week? We have AEW kicking off a new show to compete with the SmackDowns. We are a little less than a week away from SummerSlam.
That is this Sunday, is it not?
No, it's this Saturday.
Oh.
It's a Saturday pay-per-view.
Apparently I screwed up in my notes then because I totally spaced on that. Yes, you are correct. It is a Saturday. So there's that.
Yes. So, what shall we kick off with this week? I know last week we changed it up a little bit.
Aside from my awesome chest hair being exposed.
Yeah, really.
I was kind of waiting for the gold necklace to come out. I figured that's what you were going back to get.
Well, luckily, I'm pretty sure I just snagged a new job, so there's going to be money soon for the gold chain fund. It's coming.
Yeah, where you going to be getting?
Oh, I can't reveal such details here on the air. Oh no. You know, if certain people knew of this, certain people might have to be erased. It's a whole thing. I've already said too much.
And then people will be flooded at your work trying to get your picture and get your autograph.
Well, I'm a likable guy.
Yes.
I'm a scholar. But yes, we sure did see a lot of things happen in the world of wrestling this week. Shall we kick it off with the weekly world of wrestling news, perhaps?
Let's do it. That was
all right.
That was nice. Let's do it.
Yes. So, a lot of big things happening this week here in the world of wrestling. CM Punk has been making the Twitter world quite interesting, to say the least, as he's been dropping some pretty cryptic tweets the past week or so. And word has it around the old rumor mill that he just may be making his first appearance in AEW coming up this Friday night on the second episode of Rampage, which I do believe takes place in New York City. I could be mistaken there. So definitely going to want to keep an eye out for that. Speaking of AEW, another big announcement, as tomorrow night, Sting is scheduled to have his very first in-ring match on TNT in 20 years. That's coming up tomorrow night on Dynamite. I actually don't know who he's scheduled to face, but after seeing him deliver a suplex onto the ramp last week or a week before on Dynamite, I think he's doing all right health-wise. So I guess Stinger's ready to get back and sting him. So first time back on back on TNT since WCW back about 20 or so years ago now. How about that? And another former WCW alumni was in the news this week as Ric Flair, who was released by WWE 2 weeks ago, appeared at AAA Triple Mania 29 down in Mexico, and he accompanied Andrade El Idolo in his match against Kenny Omega for Omega's AAA Championship. Flair, of course, got involved in the match. No big surprise there, as he delivered some patented woo chops to Omega and even locked on the figure four at one point. But that was not enough to stop Omega as he remained AAA champion. And the big news out of this story is it's fueled all kind of rumors that Flair is going to sign or already has signed with AEW, and he would then in turn be Andrade's manager, perhaps, even though Andrade's got Chavo right now. I'm not sure. But Ric Flair and Andrade have something else in common, that being the fact that Andrade is currently dating Ric Flair's daughter, Charlotte. So, I don't know.
I mean, you kind of saw that.
The Nature Boy on Dynamite.
Kind of saw that coming when that news got released a couple weeks ago. You know, Flair's going to go somewhere. Flair's not going to stay quiet in the background. He's going to go make his woo somewhere else.
Yeah, he's going to woo it up and make as much money as he can till the day he drops. So Rick was one of those guys that wasn't very good about saving his money, despite how many millions he made over the years. But yeah.
Well, he's styling and profiling, jet
right?
Limousine riding, girlfriend stealing.
It's an expensive life, stealing kisses and riding in limousines and jet planes and all that stuff he is known for. So, way to go, Nature Boy. And lastly, in the news, some sad news to report, as wrestling legend and the trainer of both Shane Douglas and Mick Foley, Dominic DeNucci, passed away this past Thursday at the age of 89. DeNucci, who was a two-time WWF World Tag Team Champion, yes, back in the old Vince Senior days. He was also a WWF International Tag Team Champion and a three-time IWA World Heavyweight Champion. So rest in power, Mr. DeNucci. He was known as like one of the nicest guys in wrestling. If you've ever seen like Mick Foley's old biography, I think it was actually the old Three Faces of Foley.
I would say Three Faces of Foley.
Yeah. They interviewed Dominic in it, and obviously, if you've read Mick Foley's first book in particular, you will know that he had nothing but high praise for Mr. DeNucci and everything that he did for him. I mean, there you go.
Have a nice day.
Blood and Sweat Socks. Yes, Foley still hates that title. That was a WWF decision, not his.
Of course.
DeNucci was awesome though. He let Mick train, even though he really didn't see much in Mick. Nobody saw much in Mick from the get-go, and he was willing to work with him on the cost of training, and he even let him and his wife let him stay at his house all the time. So really good dude, total wrestling legend. You will be missed, Mr. DeNucci. Thank you for everything you did, including giving us the franchise and Mr. Bang Bang himself.
Sorry, excuse me.
You would be. Yeah, way to honor the dead with your friggin'
girth burp.
Flatulence.
Hey, you know what?
Girth burp.
There's also some other SummerSlam news that Finn Balor is very unhappy that he got taken out of the main event at SummerSlam. According to a source on the Facebook, a reputable wrestling page, Finn Balor's name was actually printed on that contract that Cena intercepted that night on SmackDown. So Mr. Balor is none too happy with the WWE and thinks it's a big failure on their part.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement with him. I think the idea of Balor, Cena, and Reigns triple threat would have been awesome. You had, I mean, it's already a good matchup to begin with between the champ and Cena coming back, but you throw Balor in that mix and things can only get better. I don't see why this is the direction. This is what they made it look like with that whole contract thing of, Baron Corbin running in and Finn Balor running in and all that shit. So what was the point of all that if you were just going to go,
Well, it's WWE. Of course they're going to go, meh.
So stupid. Yeah, and I mean, Balor, to me, I mean, he really has only been able to showcase his talents in NXT since signing with WWE. When he was Prince Devitt back in the day in the indie scene and stuff, he was awesome. He was a total main eventer. People were clamoring to see him, and he's another case of one of these guys, extremely talented, and WWE has no fucking clue as to what to do with him. So, way to go.
So since we're talking about SummerSlam, who are you taking in the Cena Roman Reigns match?
I think I see Reigns walking away with it. To be honest with you, my main reasoning being that unless I highly doubt Cena's coming back to any sort of full-time schedule. He seems like he's got a movie coming out every week. So to put the belt on him, unless you're just going to do something stupid where, like, I don't know, the next night or 2 nights later on Raw, Goldberg comes in and spears Cena and takes the belt or some shit, which I wouldn't doubt.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be a damn good match, even it just being Cena and Reigns. we'll see if Cena's got any of the old ring rust on him, as they say. But between the two of them, they should be able to put on a damn good show. But I still see Reigns holding that belt.
Yeah, same here. What about you, Miss Nighthawk? Who do you think is going to take that match? I know you know both those wrestlers a little bit.
Well, I agree. I think that it'll be Reigns.
Yep.
Is that because you're in love with him?
Yeah.
Yep.
Fair enough. I get it.
But also,
It makes sense. I mean, I'm in the same boat as both of you. I think Reigns is going to take it. And to your point, Mr. Torrance, to put the belt on Cena, to have him drop it in a week on a SmackDown or a next pay-per-view, it makes no sense to have him carry it for a month. Just let Reigns have the title and let him feud with Balor and put the belt on Balor in a little bit.
Yeah, that could be the way they're going to go, since Balor just got screwed out of this main event. Don't get me wrong, though. I wouldn't mind seeing Cena win the belt again. Why the hell not? At this rate, he's only been champion, 16 times, 17 times?
17. Make 17 if he does.
He could officially beat Ric Flair. Why the hell not at this rate? But no, I think it makes the most sense to just keep it on Reigns. And Reigns, of course, will come up with some way to, screw Cena over, I'm sure. Or who knows, maybe Balor comes in and screws things up for somebody himself. Who knows?
And that's kind of where I stand, too, with Lashley and Goldberg. I don't want them to put the belt on Goldberg because there's no point.
No. There's no point in bringing Goldberg back in any capacity whatsoever. I don't understand Vince's obsession with bringing Goldberg back again and again and again and again. I don't.
But then after you have this match, who do you feud Lashley up with? If Lashley walks away with the title, or for that matter, both of them, whoever wins, who do you feud them with? That's feuding themselves, or where's the next step for Raw now?
Well, that's kind of the dilemma, really, for both champions on both shows, I think, because, I guess, take that back. With SmackDown, you could put Finn Balor up against Reigns, but for WWE Raw, I don't really know where they'd go from here. Who hasn't Lashley already gone up against, who's still at the top of their roster? He feuded with Drew McIntyre. I actually expected more out of that feud than what they did with it. I don't know if that's something we're going to want to go back and revamp or something, but I can't think of anybody on the SmackDown roster right now that could really make another good feud with Lashley. Really, I don't watch enough Raw to even remember at this rate, but it sucks for Lashley because he doesn't have any real good competition. That's the bottom line.
Right, because Vince released them all. Or does Big E cash in his Money in the Bank contract?
Ooh, now that's interesting because, I would like to see that. I would definitely buy the ticket for Big E going up against Lashley for the belt. So maybe that's where they're headed. Could we see a cash in this Sunday on the part, or Saturday, I should say? I'm never going to get that right, on the part of Big E.
No, you're not. And the last match I want your input on, both of you, is the Bianca Belair Sasha Banks match. I think that's going to be one hell of a match. That one could actually probably carry SummerSlam as a main event if they wanted to take one of the other belt, the Universal belt or a SmackDown belt out of there. I full-heartedly believe that title match could carry its own.
Miss Nighthawk, what's your thoughts on Bianca and Sasha? Who's walking away victorious this Saturday?
That a boy, you got it right.
Dude, that really is a tough one because,
they're both at the top of their game.
I want to say Sasha.
Ooh, all right. So we might be seeing a title change here, according to Miss Nighthawk. I think no matter what, it's going to be awesome. They're both fantastic. Two of the without question, two of the best athletes they have in WWE. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say superstars because I hate that term. They're wrestlers, they're athletes, fine. Superstars, just Superstars was on Saturday mornings. That's all it should ever be.
Exactly.
But, right before Monster Jam. But, this in all likelihood, it very well easily could be the match of the show. This I wouldn't be surprised to see this in the main event, although it's probably going to be Cena and Reigns. But those are two that definitely deserve to be in the main event of SummerSlam. Sasha's a heel again. I got a little bit to talk about that coming up in the SmackDown breakdown, and we both know what these ladies can do, so I'm expecting good things. I think, though, I don't know. I don't think they're ready to take the belts off Bianca yet, and I'm cool with that. So I'm also cool if Sasha were to win, too, because I really like them both. So either way, I'm a winner.
I mean, I'd like to see the hometown girl from Boston, Sasha, take the belt back. But I think just coming back as she has recently, we haven't seen her since WrestleMania. I don't think they'll put the belt on her quite yet and keep it with Bianca for a little bit longer. But I am kind of rooting for Sasha.
Yeah, not to mention Bianca hasn't even had the belt, even 5 months?
It's been a short run so far.
Yeah, I'd like to see her hold on to it a little longer. But who knows what they have in store for us coming up at Saturday Slam.
So I was on the
Slim Jim Saturday Slam.
Snap into it. I was on the good old book face today and saw a post by Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. And she says there's lots of surprises in store for SummerSlam. And I had to comment, and I said my surprise would be if Peacock would actually allow it to stream properly so we could watch it live.
I'm willing to bet you receive no reply.
Oh, of course not. She's scared because I want to fight her dad.
She was definitely running into Vince's office with her laptop, like, Dad, look what he wrote. Oh, what are we gonna do? That's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do. Mr. McMahon, shuck it under bars.
I just thought that was kind of fun.
Look at that. I'm proud of you. Yeah, you're keeping that feud going. Still no reply from Vince, I take it, eh?
No, this is his face, when I make a comment to him.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, good times.
I'm still waiting for Enzo, by the way, everyone. Still haven't heard anything.
I have also heard that NXT is going to start taping their shows again. They're going back to the old pre-taped days.
Bad move in this day and age, with the interwebs being what it is and whatnot.
Yep, that, and I've heard Vince Russo saying that Triple H needs to check himself before he runs NXT into the ground.
Oh, I was really hoping you were going to say Vince Russo said Triple H needs to check himself before he wrecks himself. Chickadee check himself before he wrecks himself. Sorry, I was listening to Ice Cube earlier.
I can't do it. I can't top that, so.
Yeah. So, I've read things, as Robert De Niro would say, I hear things. And apparently Vince has not been very happy with the fact that when Dynamite was still on Wednesdays, it was pretty much it beat NXT in the ratings more than NXT ever beat Dynamite, from what I gather. So I figure he's just saying, Triple H, you dropped the ball on that. AEW should have never even been a competition to us, blah, blah, blah. And even with Dynamite moving to Wednesday night instead of being on Tuesdays like they originally were going up against NXT, it hasn't helped NXT really at all from what I understand, which sucks because, once again, for when I do get the time to actually check out some NXT, what I'm seeing there is much better than what we get on Raw. That's for damn sure.
Of course. The talent's 10 times better, but yet they're just going to release all the talent like they have over the past month.
Yeah.
Let that go, and they're going to drive NXT into the ground.
Or they'll bring in these guys, men and women up that are, riding hot right now in NXT, and then they'll put them on Raw and give them some stupid gimmick and just totally kill them, and then no one will care, and that will be the end of that.
Yes.
Because they've done that time and time again.
And history repeats itself with Mr. McMahon.
Probably get his shit together.
Seriously.
God, the
fucking asshole.
Think you're all high and mighty because you're a billionaire?
You couldn't even run the XFL, Vince. Shit.
Twice. He tried twice and failed.
Maybe he'll bring back Ica Pro in the World Bodybuilding Federation. WBF, mate.
I don't know.
Me neither. So where are we headed, guy?
I think we're going to head over to Miss Nighthawk and her run of birthdays.
My run of birthdays, okay.
It's honest.
It's a long list of birthdays.
Get some more popcorn while you have the time.
Woo! Surprise!
Look who we have there. It's a birthday for Miss Paige. How old is she now? Like 26 or something?
I don't know.
She was 21 when she won that title for the first time. And thank God they got rid of that stupid butterfly diva belt after, I think,
She's
right when she was
29.
29, okay.
You don't like the butterfly belt?
Oh no, I was a huge fan. I really was just trying to act cool,
Trying to hold down your excitement.
I actually have my own butterfly belt. It's nestled safely under my pillow. Nestled, whatever.
You have to wear it next week.
Oh, well. Oh, good.
And Jack Torrance is lost for words.
Something to look forward to. All right. Well, happy birthday, Miss Paige, who has turned 29. Was that today? Is it actually her birthday? Wow. So maybe she's back home celebrating at the pub.
You never know.
With a pint of Guinness then.
With her brother who never made it to the WWE.
Oh, poor chap that he was, right.
Little bitch that he was.
Smash his bloody face in, we will.
Oh, shall we get into some history real quick, and then we'll hit up the rundowns, and then hop into why is he carrying that belt and why is he not carrying that belt?
I think that sounds peachy keen, Daddy.
So, yeah, I like that. That's my sound effect.
Ooh.
We have 30 years ago in Charlotte, North Carolina, Nikita Koloff defeated Magnum TA to win their best out of 7 matches, 4-3, to claim the vacated the vacated NWA the NWA United States Championship. That's how that went.
Well, I'm glad to know they were vaccinated back then. Yeah, the title just has like a giant syringe on it. That would be awesome.
And 29 years ago, again, Nikita Koloff defeated Tully Blanchard to win the NWA World Television Championship.
Wowee, look at that TA go.
And 19 years ago, ECW presented Hardcore Heaven 97.
Yes.
From the War Memorial Hall in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 1,950 were in attendance with about 84,000 homes watching on pay-per-view. I believe we were one of those homes.
Yes, that did appear in my dad's cable bill.
Because you mowed some lawns. We had Taz defeating Chris Candido to retain the ECW World Television Championship. Bam Bam Bigelow defeated Spike Dudley.
Oh, what a great match that was. That was when he threw Spike into the crowd and Spike got crowd surfed. Oh, I love that match.
I'd go try and play the clip, but Vince would shut us down.
Yeah.
RVD.
Look it up, kids.
RVD defeated Al Snow in a Monday Night Wars rules match.
Yes.
And the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Devon, defeated PG-13, JC Ice, and Wolfie D to retain the ECW World Tag Team Championship.
That had quite the main event in that pay-per-view as well. One of my big favorites.
Yep, I'm getting there.
Yep, you're on.
Tommy Dreamer defeated Jerry Lawler.
Yes, the Lawler must die sign.
And it says, of note, Jake the Snake Roberts made his one and only ECW appearance in this match.
Yes, he did. He the lights went out, came back on. He DDT'd Dreamer and walked out, and that was the beginning and end of the Snake's illustrious ECW career. He was really, really bad with crack and all that shit at that point. So I think that's probably the reason why even Heyman was like, "Okay, you're a bit much, Jake. Sorry."
Crack is whack, folks. And then
I can't believe people still do crack. It's so 80s.
Whack.
Right? And whack. It's even whacker now.
Whacker cracker.
Just watch New Jack City, kids. That'll teach you all about the dangers of crack.
Then we had the main event. Shane Douglas defeated Sabu and Terry Funk in a 3-way dance to win the ECW World Heavyweight Championship.
Yep, that one hurt because, it killed me to see the Funker have to drop the ECW World Heavyweight Championship, especially, Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, I take that back. Funker had already dropped the belt to Sabu in the Born to be Wired match, and it was Sabu who lost the title in that triple threat to Shane Douglas. But, of course, I was rooting for the Funker because I love that.
He's your grandfather.
Mm-hmm. It is. My grandpappy. No, he doesn't know, but that's okay. We'll keep it that way. I just mail myself a gift from him every Christmas. It says, "Sue, my favorite grandson. Love, Grandpa Terry."
What's he get you every year? An empty box?
One time.
It happens. I get it.
Last year, he got me a carton of cigarettes. Grabbed me by the collar, said, "Hey, smoke up, Jack." Sorry, I had a Breakfast Club moment. That happens. But yeah, that was a damn good pay-per-view. Well worth the lawn I mowed.
8 years ago, the WWE presented SummerSlam from the Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. This was the first pay-per-view of the PG era.
Boo! So obviously it sucked.
Obviously. Let's see.
Tell me how you really feel.
So it wasn't SummerSlam, it was Summer Sham.
Mm-hmm.
What a crock of shit.
Triple H defeated the Great Khali to retain the WWE Championship.
Great.
Batista defeated John Cena. Undertaker defeated Edge in a Hell in a Cell.
All right, well, there's something.
And Matt.
Oh, was that when Undertaker chokeslammed Edge down to hell?
I didn't see that match. That was probably my stint of when I wasn't watching.
They had a ladder inside Hell in a Cell, and if I'm not mistaken, that was the one when Undertaker was able to finagle Edge into position, and he chokeslammed him, and the ring broke, and all the smoke came out, and red light. So obviously, Edge went to hell. Well, at least just for until the next night on Raw. He stayed the night.
And then wrapping up some news here, 6 years ago, your favorite person, Alberto Del Rio, made his WWE television debut with his personal ring announcer, Ricardo Rodriguez.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say on this day in history, Alberto Del Rio slapped the catering guy. Hey, I don't blame Del Rio, man. For anyone out there who doesn't know that story, Alberto Del Rio, Alberto Del Rio was let go by the WWE because it was one day during lunch, catering, whatever. I guess some guy in catering was like serving Alberto his food, and he made some racist remark to him, and Alberto took offense and apparently just slapped the guy right in the face. So, hey, I don't blame Alberto. If that really is the case, what happened? Well, slap a racist, I say. We should have National Slap a Racist Day. We got National Every Other Thing Day. How about National Slap a Racist Day?
I can get down with that.
Racist scared again.
So was
that's all I got for the new. That's it from the professor over here. There will be a quiz later.
Thank you for the education.
I do what I can, it's I like to keep the people educated and the youngsters updated, and well, I like
because you believe the children's are the future.
Get your way, let them lead the way. Sorry.
All the beauty they possess inside. Yeah, we're here for the kids. This is a very educational program, actually.
It really is. If you fucking pay attention, you'll learn some stuff of how ridiculous we are.
I think if you saw even the first episode, you figured that out within the first 5 minutes or so. Probably.
I should go back and rewatch that first episode just to see.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. It's fantastic.
We should do a viewing party.
Yeah. See how bad it really was.
The next episode, we should actually go back and review it.
What a bad idea.
Not a bad idea at all.
Write that one down.
It's going to be pretty dangerous.
Like, what the hell were we thinking?
So it's like, I don't have enough PTSD already. Let's get some more.
Hey, we do what we got to do,
That's right. Do it for the people. I'll make that sacrifice. I'll have some more non-flashbacks for you guys.
Speaking of sacrifices, what you got on the AEW Dynamite deposition?
It's the old Dynamite deposition, you say, eh?
I didn't say smoke a ball.
No, that's my thinking pipe. Thank you. Want to make
Tobacco
sure
products only?
Of course. This time I've been smoking harmless tobacco. It is time once again, ladies and gentlemen, for the AE Dynamite deposition. This being for the August the 11th, Wednesday, August the 11th, 2021. Things got fired up with quite the curtain jerker last Wednesday as the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega, along with the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Bucks of Youth, took on Dante Martin and the Seidel brothers in a spectacular trios match that really showcased the talents of Dante Martin, who definitely stole the show in this one, yet despite his valiant effort, Dante, along with the Seidel brothers, fell victim to the power of the Elite. After the match, the number one contender for the AEW World Championship, Captain Charisma himself, Christian, made his way ringside so that he could inform Kenny Omega that he would, in fact, be challenging Omega for his Impact Heavyweight title that following Friday on the premiere of AEW Rampage. Next, we saw Darby Allin walk away victorious with a win over Daniel Garcia. The Hardy family office defeated Best Friends members Wheeler Yuta, Chuck Taylor, and freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. And despite an earlier sneak attack at the hands of Nyla Rose, Chris Statlander was able to come out on top when she pinned the Native Beast with a fantastic 450 splash. And Chris Statlander moving up there in the ranks of the women's division in AEW. So potentially she might be stepping in the squared circle with a certain Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, real soon. But we will see about that. Then things got rowdy in Pittsburgh. Speaking of which, when the city's own hometown dentist, the AEW Women's Champion, Dr. Britt Baker, I know I just did it, but I'm going to do it again, DMD, returned to Pittsburgh and deservingly so received a gargantuan ovation from the crowd. But the homecoming celebration was short-lived because Red Velvet made her presence known when she attacked the champion until the referees were able to separate the two, thus creating a storm cloud of vigorous boos from the crowd.
That's what the only thing that Pittsburgh has going for them right now is Dr. Britt Baker because
it's true, and like she even kind of made a point of this when she was addressing the crowd. She said something. I wish I could remember it now because I watched it live last week. She was like, I'm still keeping this a title town or something like that. Everyone was like, yeah, because
the
they're not getting it from Big Ben. I hate to tell you there, Pittsburgh.
Or Sidney Crosby.
Oh God, that's the name does never be spoken on this show.
Unless you're making fun of him.
Yeah, then we'll let it go. Fuck Crosby. Yeah. So
sorry about the interruption. I had.
Oh no. I like
attention on that one.
I like when you chime in. We keep it interesting here on this here program.
Oh, we do.
Indeed. So after that whole scene came to a close, the Impact Tag Team Champions, the Good Brothers, successfully defended their belts against Dark Order members Evil Uno and Stu Don't Call Me Dick Grayson. And then Tony Schiavone attempted to once again interview QT Marshall. As you may remember, QT's been a dick per usual, and he poured like a milkshake on poor Tony a week or two ago. So QT came out, demanded an apology from Tony Schiavone, which I don't understand why Schiavone was supposed to apologize. What happened here? Did I fart? Or you got a boog hanging or something?
No.
All right.
I'm just being distracting. I'm sorry.
Like I need help in that department. Jeez.
The voices in your head do enough for that for you.
I hear voices in my head. Okay. So, yeah. Dark Order members Evil Uno and Stu Don't Call Me Dick Grayson, unfortunately, fell to the Good Brothers and did not get those belts. Oh, see, you fucked me all up. I was talking about QT Marshall and Tony Schiavone. All right, so anyway, QT Marshall is a dick, and he just jumped out the ring. Yeah, he jumped out the ring and grabbed Tony Schiavone's son, Chris, yanked him out the crowd, dragged him in the ring, and hit the kid with a fucking diamond cutter. I did find out, apparently, I know I say, Tony Schiavone's kid. You're probably thinking like he dragged this little kid out and actually gave him a diamond cutter. But no, Chris is a young man. He looks like he's in his 20s or something like that. And apparently he has actually been training to be a wrestler. So I don't know if they're maybe giving the kid a break since he's a young Schiavone. And maybe they just want to get him out there. I don't know what's going to come of that. But nonetheless, after the diamond cutter, that inspired Paul White, Mr. The former Big Show himself, to make his way out to the ring and scare off QT and his goon squad, much to the relief of the Schiavone family. So that only leaves us with the main event of the evening. And yes, that meant it was time for the fourth labor of Jericho. This time around, a beaten and battered Jericho had to hold his own against the mighty Wardlow, Wardlow dominated Le Champion with a barrage of power bombs and a devastating F10. I actually lost count of how many power bombs he gave him. It was pretty gnarly there, folks. But Jericho was able to hold on, and eventually he locked on the walls of Jericho on Wardlow. But that's when MJF intervened as he raked the eyes of the Painmaker. This, however, was witnessed by referee Aubrey Edwards, and while she was ejecting MJF from ringside, Jericho snuck Floyd the baseball bat into the ring, hit Wardlow in the dome piece, then scored a Judas effect for the 1-2-3. That now means that tomorrow night, Jericho will finally get his chance to beat MJF in the 5th and final labor of Jericho. But, you know, there's always a but. He's got a few more stipulations in his way because after the match, MJF stated that Jericho will not be able to use the Judas effect in his 5th and final labor, but also he will not have the crowd singing the song Judas like every other week because Jericho is not allowed to play his entrance theme either. How dare you, MJF?
Oh,
Savages.
Judas.
Right? The nerve. And that, boils and ghouls, is your AEW Dynamite deposition for Augusto the 11th, 2021. Snuck some Spanish in there for you, you fine folks.
That freshman year of Spanish class that we took,
Yeah.
it did you wonders.
Arriba. Sure did.
They'd be proud.
I said Augusto. That is Spanish.
Yes, it is. So that was AEW. We do have SmackDown and Raw to get through before we get to our topic of the night.
Yeah, and we did also see the very first episode of Rampage. AEW started this week.
I heard it was a decent first show for them.
Yeah, I didn't realize until about a week before it started that it's actually only an hour long, which is cool because they don't really need, a lot more time, I guess. Keep it short, keep it sweet. It's like just about the matches. There's no like real big interviews or anything. They kicked it off with 3 really good fucking matches to start off the show. It was huge news in the world of wrestling this week as I mentioned before, Christian Cage had informed Kenny Omega that he'd be challenging him for his Impact World title this past Friday. And yeah, Christian won. Christian came from out of nowhere and won this match. I couldn't even remember the last time Omega had actually been pinned. And that was something that I think a lot of people did not see coming. So that was pretty badass. Dr. Britt also defended her title in front of her hometown crowd of Pittsburgh against Red Velvet in another great match. And, of course, I lost my notes, and I don't remember what the second match was. I don't know how I lost that.
All we know is their hour of wrestling probably beat out the 2 hours of SmackDown.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it. I didn't get a chance to actually find out how they did. Although... yeah, I thought they were going to go up head-to-head with SmackDown, but it turns out they actually don't start till 10. So they start as soon as SmackDown ends, which in a way is probably for the best, I figure, because that way you're getting, everyone who just finished watching SmackDown in all likelihood is going to turn over and watch Rampage right after. So could work for them. We will see.
Yes.
And if CM Punk does in fact show up this Friday on Rampage, then you can be guaranteed that those ratings are going to beat SmackDown. Oh, yes.
100%. I bet that hour could also trump, don't like using that word, but could also trump Monday Night Raw as well in the ratings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
3 hours versus an hour.
It's going to happen some point or another. We don't know if it's going to be this Friday. It could be when AEW is heading to Chicago soon. That would obviously make a lot of sense, being that Punk is from Chicago. But maybe they just don't want to wait around anymore, and they're finally like, let's just get him out there. And this is something that, how long has it been now since his last match in WWE?
Oh, Jesus.
It's been many moons.
Yeah, many full moons ago.
And this is, here's a guy that after this much time since his last match, how many wrestling shows have we seen? Countless. That the crowd, no matter where they are, is chanting CM Punk, CM Punk. So this is going to be a big one.
That's like WWE now with Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
Chanting Wyatt everywhere they go because they want Wyatt back. So,
and I'm glad to hear it because the fans get it. Bray Wyatt was awesome.
The fans getting AEW is going to get it because it is what it is.
They've gotten everybody else so far. So, yeah, man.
So
Interesting things to be seen.
let's head into a quick cap of the SmackDown breakdown, and we'll hop over to the Raw report real quick. I did not see any of Raw because that's how much interest I have in it right now. Because as I'm reading the breakdown of Raw, it's the same as it's been since WrestleMania.
See, you could have just said, here's the Raw report. I didn't watch Raw. There you go. See you next week. Because that's about this, all the information we really need about Raw.
I use Raw as a bedtime story.
Yeah, it's a good way to put the wee ones to bed, is it not?
I meant me.
Yeah, that works too. Yeah. I've actually found that to be a great sleep aid. Just put on Raw and you'll be out in no time. However, we do have the SmackDown breakdown for August 13th, 2021. And from what I already figure, without even having watched Raw, it sounds like SmackDown was better again. As this past Friday night, things got underway with a promo between Roman Reigns and John Cena as they built some more great heat for their upcoming WWE Universal Championship match coming up this Sunday at SummerSlam, live from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. Both combatants took some big-time verbal jabs at each other in a promo that lasted nearly 30 minutes and was extremely entertaining from start to finish. At one point, Big Match John even hinted at the idea of taking the Universal title with him after he is declared the winner, thus leaving Reigns embarrassed and SmackDown without a champion. So we'll see how it all plays out this Sunday live on Peacock. So, in other words, you'll have to wait until the replay because you won't be able to watch it live because it's on Peacock. And as we know, you can't watch pay-per-views live on Peacock.
Because it's like this.
It's like
so it's like our show sometimes.
Yes,
yeah,
precisely. Yeah.
But we don't have the billions and billions of dollars of backers to make it so it's not like that.
Right? We don't have 2.5 Men, which I wish we did because I love that show. But Peacock, they have no excuse. So boo to you, Peacock. Boo earns indeed. The SmackDown stocks kept climbing from there, believe it or not, as a new Intercontinental Champion was crowned. That's right, for the second consecutive week, Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Apollo Crews and is now, once again, your WWE Intercontinental Champion. This, I take it, was Nakamura's reward after having to endure that god-awful feud with Baron Corbin for weeks on end.
Ugh.
So good for you, Nakamura. You earned it. That's for sure. I think we all deserve a title shot after having to see that garbage. Ugh. And then the Street Profits upended Alpha Academy members Otis and Chad Gable in tag team action, and Seth Rollins cut another A-plus promo on Edge ahead of their much-anticipated matchup this Sunday at SummerSlam. As the night progressed, we witnessed the slow cooker of dissension between father and son heat up when Rey and Dominic Mysterio just barely scored a win over Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. And in singles competition, KO Kevin Owens promised to give the broke and begging Baron Corbin $1,000 if he could beat him. Owens didn't have to hit the ATM, though, as he successfully pinned Corbin with a roll-up followed by a stunner for good measure. After the match, Corbin stole Big E's Money in the Bank briefcase and proceeded to run away. So apparently now that he keeps losing, Baron has evidently turned to a life of crime. So good for him. Things then wrapped up Friday night with a contract signing between the challenger Sasha Banks and the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair for their match this Sunday at SummerSlam. Before the ink had even a chance to dry, Sasha introduced her insurance policies in the form of Carmella and Zelina Vega. Belair tried to get the jump on Banks, but she was outnumbered and decimated by the trio. Banks then smashed the champ's face into the table over and over and over again before putting the final touches on the evening with the bank statement as SmackDown went off the air. And that, my children of the corn, is your SmackDown breakdown for August 13th, 2021.
Woo!
Woo!
Hell yeah.
That was a nice breakdown of
Shit, yeah, sucker. You can dig that.
Oh, shall we get into the 3 hours of my life that I did not lose this week?
Woo!
Oh, yeah, let's take a walk down misery lane, shall we?
So, RK Bro officially reunites and scores a SummerSlam title match. Like we didn't see that coming. Can we be
was
any
as
less
obvious as me huffing the Sharpie? Didn't see that coming.
I kind of wish your head would have went forward a little quickly and you would have like
Ooh.
up your nose.
Clonk.
Come on with a Hitler stash.
Not my first. It's not my first rodeo. I know these Sharpies.
So
They
we
can
have
do well. Okay.
I can just fill it in.
might need some more gray in it.
Touch of gray, if you will.
Yes. AJ Styles defeats Riddle via a pinfall. Again, I have no bearings on any of these matches because I did not want to torture myself.
So we missed Johnny No Shoes pin AJ Styles, and they get a tag match this Sunday for the titles.
We also missed Randy Orton defeating Omos via a disqualification.
Oh no, Edward James Omos, no.
And we saw, surprise, surprise, Rhea Ripley fighting Nikki ASH. It's not as cool as DMD.
Is she still a superhero or whatever now?
Almost a superhero.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes,
That's why it's ASH, not Nikki Ash. As Miss Nighthawk and I had this conversation.
All right. Well, I still think that it's Ash, but whatever.
I still do too. I think it's just stupid. They just don't call her Nikki Ash, but whatever. So yeah, Rhea Ripley defeated Nikki Ash via pinfall.
10 out of 10.
Dang.
This is what I do during Raw.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so
I'm just
enthralling.
giving you the real life version. Drew McIntyre took on Veer and Shanky. They are Jinder Mahal's people.
You're shaky. Oh, I met
Drew
him in the joint.
McIntyre won
It
via.
sounds like a knockoff of Shaggy.
Yeah, or a new cool way to say shank somebody in prison. Y'all getting shanky.
Oh, Shanky.
Time to
Shaggy J.
start sharpening that shiv.
So yes, McIntyre defeated both of Veer and Skanky via the Claymore. The result means Veer and Shanky are barred from ringside at SummerSlam when McIntyre faces the modern-day Maraha Jinder Mahal.
Modern day black.
Could you repeat that?
The modern-day Maraha.
Maraca.
No, I'm thinking the exact same thing.
Modern day Maraca. That'd be more entertaining than Jinder. Oh God, why? Just like Goldberg. Why?
The Miz is out of his wheelchair
I don't even know why he was in it in the first place.
because he got bit by zombies at WrestleMania.
Oh,
you remember?
he was recuperating from his zombie wounds. Of course, everyone knows that you become paralyzed from the waist down for a few weeks after you get bit by a zombie. So.
He fought Damian Priest, and Damian Priest defeated The Miz. So
Sounds
instead of
exciting.
Damian Priest fighting John Morrison, they fought The Miz.
So they're still having that feud from WrestleMania
Yeah, apparently.
without that rap dude. What's his name?
Rap dude.
Bad Bunny.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I wish they would continue the feud with John Morrison and Ricochet. Because I thought that was a great feud.
Yeah.
They both hold their own in the match, and it was very entertaining.
But there you go. That you just said it. See, it would be entertaining. That's why they can't have that.
So then we move on to Alexa Bliss. I unplugged her so she cannot go off.
Where's
she
the
had-
fun in that?
She had Dewdrop on Alexa's playground,
Oh, Mountain Dew.
and Lily
Right.
the doll scared Dewdrop off.
Mountain Dew code
Scared
red
off
drop.
Dewdrop. So Dewdrop ran off scared because of the doll.
Uh-huh.
This whole
The
doll
dolls
thing is
happen.
getting this voodoo thing. This doll thing's getting a little old.
Just bring back Papa Shango if you want voodoo, man.
I
That's all
know.
you did. Magic man.
Mansoor fought Mace and won via pinfall. After interference from Mustafa Ali, Mace had Mansoor pinned when Ali hit a drop kick to allow Mansoor to reverse the pin.
Mansoor always loses.
That's such a terrible name.
What does he look like?
I don't know. I'm still
Can you find a picture of
clueless
him?
on this.
Nighthawk?
Is it just a giant?
I don't know if I want to Google that.
It's a giant herpy man.
It's Mansoor. I'm curious. So as you look for that,
I'll do it all.
That sounds
Here-
made up.
Karrion Kross fought Jeff Hardy and won via submission with a cross jacket. Kross attacked Hardy backstage before the match, leading to a very short match once Hardy came to the ring. Hardy's like 45 years old. He needs
Wait, I'm gonna be the old man here now. Now, what? Who did Hardy fight now?
Karrion Kross. I think he's the one from NXT
Oh, okay. All right.
that was getting dogged over and lost. Didn't win his first few fights in the show, if you will.
Yes, of course.
He looks like a
Yes.
nerd.
And then
Herpy nerd.
he had a tag team match, which makes no sense. So you had Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax fighting
Oh, it's already off to a good start.
Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH, who those two fought earlier against each other.
Yeah, so what? After their singles match, they were like, hey, let's be friends now and fight evil.
And Flair and Nia Jax. Why? Why, Vince?
Right? Why wouldn't, well, wait a minute. Yeah, and why wouldn't, did Nia Jackson, her partner there, Shauna Blazer break up?
I believe so.
Okay.
Well, because Reggie's now the 24/7 champion.
Wait, we'll do this one.
Yeah, wait, and that doesn't make any sense either because Flair is the women's champion, right? The Raw Women's Champion?
No.
Oh, she lost the belt already?
Yeah, she
Oh, yeah,
lost
that's
it.
right. Yeah, Money in the
She
Bank.
lost
I
it.
forgot about that whole stupid thing.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Nikki Ash cashed in Money in
Okay,
the Bank.
that makes more sense than on that point, but still, yeah.
And then, Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax defeated Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash.
Yeah, the surprise.
What's that?
Oh, that dude. All right, yeah, he was running some cult or whatever there for a little bit.
He was doing
What's the dude? You just said his name there. The guy, he reminds me of Spider-Man, the way he jumps around.
Reggie?
No. His
Karrion
name is
Kross?
his
Jeff
name
Hardy?
is a word. Ricochet. Ricochet.
Ricochet.
There you go. Yeah, he had some feud where
His name is a word. Of course it
he
is.
was trying to recruit Ricochet into his weird cult thing or whatever. I don't know if that's still a thing. Who knows?
Yikes.
And then to kick Raw out.
Put out that fire, that trash fire that was Raw.
Oh no, the fire just gets bigger.
Oh no.
What?
Goldberg cuts a promo
Ugh, gross.
at the end of the show, introducing his son in the front row and explaining that he didn't want his son to watch live video to see who Goldberg was, but rather to bring him ringside to see who Goldberg is.
Wow. Because wasn't that the big thing last time that Goldberg came back?
Because
So he
how
could
bad was
show his
Goldberg
son
in
how he
that
wrestled
time?
again? Ugh.
Like-
Even his son's got to be getting sick of this shit now.
And then Lashley and MVP came down, interrupted. Blah blah blah. Words were
Let me
had.
guess, there was a spear, right?
Goldberg spears Lashley.
Oh, wow. Didn't see that coming.
Oh shit.
And that, folks, is your Raw shitty report.
Here's your mouthful of shit brought to you by Monday Night Raw.
I think you did a swell job there, pal.
That was
Thanks,
top
bud.
notch. Top notch reporting
Hey,
there. The part of
It
the
wasn't
kid.
bad for somebody who didn't watch it.
Yeah. You didn't even have to tell us that you hadn't watched it. You could have just winged it, dude.
Yeah,
I do
you
it all the time.
could have.
Oops. There I go. Oh, yeah. Sometimes,
It'd be like
I
that.
want to watch Simpsons marathons instead of SmackDown. I admit, okay? That happens.
I get it.
I'm guilty. Especially since they've been showing like season 5 and season 6 lately. Oh, the best.
So that's going to
Sorry, I
bring
was talking about
us.
Simpsons. Things got real quiet when I talked about the Simpsons. Sorry.
It did. That's going to bring us to the meat and potatoes of this episode. And wow, we are at almost an hour, and we're getting into the final of the show. It's
Look at us trimming the fat, huh?
None of
record
us were
for us.
prepared, though. That's why.
No.
Yeah,
none of
see,
us
if we
were
just
really-
don't prepare, then we won't waste so much of people's time. Let's just
So-
wing everything.
What's
Here
the meat-
on out.
We'll just make shit up. Who knows? People might not even notice.
Oh, as we get into it
Oh,
now,
Stone Cold came back to SmackDown this week and won the Universal title. They don't know.
Oh, and Hart showed up and won FTW belt.
Actually. Too soon.
Speaking of belts and championships, we are getting into the why did he carry that belt and why didn't he carry that belt segment of our show tonight. As always, thank you for everyone who is watching, listening, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your grandparents. They want to watch us. They want to listen to us. And
Grandparents? Hell yeah, let's go.
Yo, Gramps, turn on the shit.
You're gonna turn on that wrestling shit again, aren't you, boy?
My grand was hardcore. She would have loved it. I know she would.
My grandfather would not have loved this because he was not a wrestling fan.
Oh.
He is actually the reason why I did not go to wrestling school.
Grandpa stood in the way, eh?
He's one of the few that I would not do that for. So, do that. No. I was all signed up to go to Killer Kowalski School of Wrestling and pulled out.
What could have been? I could have been wearing your T-shirt right now.
God damn it.
You could have been my ringside announcer.
Wouldn't that have been something?
Wow.
But here we are.
I'm sitting in my basement, and we're talking about shitty Raw.
And crack is whack.
Crack is still whack.
So I went the other way with this. I went with the wrestlers who never held the world title.
Well, I took it two ways. I mean, yeah, it was top wrestlers that should have been world champion but never were, and then of course who I think never should have held a world title in the first place.
So let's kick that off with you then, sir. Let's kick it off of the wrestlers who you think, why are they carrying the belt?
The men who I believe should have been world champion never were. Now, a couple of these, I might have to. Well, maybe only one.
So these are the ones that never were a champion, but you thought.
Well, some did hold the title. For instance, right off the bat, I mentioned Bam Bam Bigelow. Now, Bam Bam was ECW World Heavyweight Champion. But the reason I put Bam Bam on this list is because I still, to this day, can never believe that Bam Bam was never the WWF champion. Right. I love Bam Bam. He was a great heel. What I really could have seen Bam Bam holding the title, they should have had him have a feud with Bret when Bret had the title. One of the times when Bret had the title early on there, maybe after he won it from Flair or whatnot, because who could ever forget the first King of the Ring in the finals, Bam Bam versus Bret? That is still one of the best matches, especially a big guy versus, a smaller, more ground pound technical grappler wrestler. And Bam Bam was the big, huge brawler. That was, one for the ages. So I would have loved to see Bam Bam take the belt from Bret at some point, in a heel screw job. And then, Bret could have taken it back from him. But Bam Bam definitely should have been WWF champion at some point.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree on that one.
And I wish he had been ECW champion longer than he was, but that's besides the point.
I agree. I definitely agree on that one.
So who's you got on your list of men who should have won the title but never did?
I'm going to kick it off with one of the top ones. One of the number one on my list. I'm going right for the creme de la creme.
Oh, you went in order, huh? I just jotted down randos. No particular order for me.
No, this is just the one who I thought should have carried a belt at some point. Mm-hmm. The world belt, and did not. Was Mr. Hot Rod Roddy Piper.
Oh, yes. He's definitely made my list as well. No doubt about that.
His ring presence, his attitude, his sarcasm, and the way he was able to hold himself within the ring, and the feuds that he had with Hogan
and his, if I had to name who do I think was the greatest ever on the mic, Roddy Piper, without question. The guy just cut the best promos. He was such a great heel. He just so knew how to get under not only his opponents, but, fans' skin. Really, people hated Piper when he wanted them to hate him. He was so good at that. And, the fact that he was never WWF champion, in my opinion, is a travesty. He did hold the Intercontinental title, lost it to Bret in that incredible match at WrestleMania 8. But as well, I would even throw in, I think he should have been WCW champion as well. Mm-hmm. He had that awesome match against Hogan at Starrcade. And, surprised the world because no one thought anyone, it's Hogan at that age, especially. He's not going to be able to really deliver a good match. I'm sorry, he really never didn't do it very often during his time as champion in the NWO. But that match he had against Piper was awesome. And why WCW decided not to give Rowdy the belt, I don't get that one either. So, yeah, in total agreement when it comes to the hot rod.
Mm-hmm. What was that? What was your 2 cents?
I just said because they're bitches.
Because they're bitches. That's right. They couldn't handle Piper. They saw They Live and they were like, whoa, he's too much for us. He'll kick all our ass.
Like,
of course, he only winner of the one and only Hollywood Brawl with Dust at WrestleMania 12.
Yep.
I real quick side note there on that match. I had not seen that match in the longest time. Maybe not even since I ordered WrestleMania 12 live on pay-per-view. Oh, request. But I forgot how good that match was. Granted, they do the whole part where he's chasing him in the Gold Dust Mobile, the Ford White Bronco, and they have the whole OJ thing. But that match, dude, they really beat the shit out of each other. And the very end of the match, fucking Piper has Goldust like on his back, and he's just like bashing him right in the face like, as hard as he could. Go back and look that one up when you got the time, because of course, everyone really remembers the Piper stripping off Goldust's suit, and he was wearing the lingerie underneath. But the match itself, they beat the holy hell out of each other. So yeah, hats off to Piper again.
And let's not forget about Piper at WrestleMania 5 on Piper's Pit when he brought out Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, Piper's Pit was the best. Of all the things they've done over the years, Brutus's barbershop. And, the Miss TV and everything they've done over the years. Yeah, no, nobody could ever top Piper's Pit. Still the king.
Yes, still one of the greatest ones ever.
Yeah.
What's next on your list? Unless Miss Nighthawk has anything on her list. If she has a list. I'm sure she has a list, but
I don't.
Yes, that's her people to kill list.
Yes.
Pray that you don't make it.
That's her hit list. Oh, I'm sure I'm on there somewhere.
Look, I've had a rough week. I don't have a list.
That's completely understandable, my dear. You don't even worry about that at all. We've got plenty of useless information to spread around for all of us. So I'm going up next with our okay, here's one. Now, I know this was primarily like about wrestlers from the past, but I'm putting Cesaro on there. Why has Cesaro still not been WWE champion?
He's on my list too.
Right. All right, cool. So we're surfing on the same wave there, Bodie. Just call me Johnny Utah. Yeah, Cesaro, dude. Another one of these guys that is just so extremely talented. One of the best wrestlers to come out in any federation in the last, 10, 15, whatever years. And this is another thing that's really been pissing me off with WWE. What was with that whole build-up, making it look like Cesaro was really going to get a shot there for the title, and then it's just like, they
tore it down real fast.
We pretend that didn't happen. And where has Cesaro been? Like, I don't watch enough Monday Night Raw. Has he even been on it? He wasn't in your report, so there you go.
We haven't seen Cesaro. Shit.
Cesaro is another one that I really would love to just see go to AEW, because then he would finally get the proper recognition that he deserves. Why he's been there? How friggin' long has he been in WWE now, and he's never held even the Universal title? Like, that's
give the guy a belt. He deserves it.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Yeah. So Cesaro made the list. So what's up on deck there, Batter Boy?
He held the belt for a split second, but they do not recognize him as ever holding the World Wrestling Federation.
I know whom for which you speak.
Because everyone's got a price.
And everybody's got to pay.
Unfortunately, no one has a price to give this guy his right at saying he was WWF champion. It is Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, when he, has his summer home in Hyannisport.
That's right. That's so funny. I literally was just going to say that. But yeah, no, again, here we go again. $1 Million Man totally made my list as well. Yes, he did buy the title off of Andre. But I would have, aside from that whole storyline, why didn't he ever just really win it?
He was a great technical wrestler, great in the ring.
Oh, he was one of the top heels of
everybody.
the 80s, no doubt about it. You know, everybody loved to hate $1 Million Man. I mean, just his laugh alone made me want to tune in on Saturday mornings just to see him do that again and again. It's hilarious.
Or when he would bring like little kids up to make them win money, like bouncing the basketball like 10 times and then kick it away from at 9. We were at number 9. And
Oh, dude, it was the best.
Oh,
$1 Million
RVD
Man to me was like, he was the Ric Flair of WWF. And I know, yes, Ric Flair was in WWF, of course. But when Ric Flair had that moniker in WCW, $1 Million Man had it for WWF, really, before Flair came into the picture. And
No,
I love that gimmick, you know? But yeah, definitely another very, top star, that top athlete that never got the chance to hold the real gold. And I wish they had done more with a $1 Million title as well.
well, yeah, that too. And I mean, he held the tag team goal with IRS.
Yeah, he did.
But he never hold. I don't believe he ever held the IC gold. He never held really the WWF gold.
And he was the first man to be eliminated from the 1992 Royal Rumble.
Yes. And yes, that was the next on my list.
Yeah, definitely had the $1 Million Man as well. Yeah, it's funny to think that, he had that house in Hyannisport while Vince and Linda had their place on the Cape Cod as well.
Oh, what's next on your list there, sir?
Oh, boy. Let's see. Who do we got? Well,
Me, actually. He thinks I should have had the belt.
thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
this is facts.
Obviously, your spy techniques work because you've already seen my list. Yes. Why Nighthawk has not reigned as champion is beyond me.
Right?
Mhm.
She's champion in her own mind.
No, more than that, I'm sure.
Kind of rude, but okay.
Would you expect anything less?
At this rate, probably not. So I'm going with.
More.
It's got to be Mr. Perfect, dude. The
He
fact
was
that
online.
Mr. Perfect never ever was world champion in WWF or WCW still blows my dome piece away.
Yeah, yeah. The guy was just great in ring.
Dude, and out of the ring, he could throw a touchdown pass to himself. It's
And
one
the
of
way
greatest
he
moments in
smacked
sports
a piece
history.
of gum,
Oh, dude, and the towel.
he smacked a piece of gum like nobody's business.
No, it's true, man. Talk about somebody who had it. When guys say, that guy, he had it. Mr. Perfect is an it kind of guy. He was an incredible athlete. He was great on the mic. He could work as a heel or a face. He worked better as a heel, really. But, of course, being part of the Bobby the Brain Heenan family just made it even better. He was even a good commentator, too. Remember, he commentated on Raw there for a while as well. I can still, unfortunately, never forget those latter WCW days when, when just everybody apparently was in NWO now, and it was just getting ridiculous. And there's a clip, you can look it up on YouTube. Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, he's in the ring. He is completely shit-faced. And he's leaning his head against the bottom rope and just laying on the mat while everyone else is in there, and he's still drinking. He gave us that lovely tune, Rap is Crap. If you look that one up on YouTube. Yes. Mr. Perfect, along with a couple other wrestlers, recorded a song called Rap is Crap. He was not big on the hip hop. But Perfect was an it kind of guy, and I will never understand why they never made champion in either federation. Really is weird, especially WCW. You couldn't have given him the world title.
Right.
Him have a run with, and another one, WF, another one who totally could have maybe taken the belt off Brett for a little bit and had a little bit of feud. Brett and Mr. Perfect had some of the best matches you'll ever see. So,
oh, absolutely. And then I liked it when Flair was not Flair. Mr. Perfect was commentary, but he was Flair's liaison within the Heenan family.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah.
When Flair came back, it was during Flair's feud with Macho Man.
He was
supposedly dating Flair.
Yeah, he was the best wrestler turned commentator since Jesse the Body, no doubt about it. He was really good there. But another one. We'll never know why he never held the big one.
Next on my list, I'm going to take it a little bit of a different direction here.
Oakley dokley.
I'm going to take it I'm gonna take a stroll down women's wrestling lane.
Nice.
And someone I thought WWE could have done a lot more with and possibly put the gold around her waist was Luna Vachon.
That's a damn good call. Yeah. Especially in her era, she was one of the only women who they'd actually let her wrestle. It wasn't just about boobs and butt action. So
no, and she had the big feud with Alundra Blaze there, but she was used more as a manager and not for her talents that she could bring to the ring. Therefore, not letting her exceed to championship status.
Yeah,
I think WWE could have really pushed that woman's mark there.
The division at the time, if you will, for what it was.
Yeah, I lost for words because I'm so distraught over this. But yeah, I think Luna Vachon was definitely one of those underutilized talents that the writers at the time couldn't see.
Yeah, she was certainly, you got to give her credit though. She was very groundbreaking for that time in a world of wrestling when, at that era, women were just looked at as valets and managers and, eye candy, for lack of a better term. Luna was something different. She was, real freaky looking. She had the half-shaped hair with the spider webs, and she had that voice. I loved, "Bam, bam, bam, I gotta tell you." But so, it was something very different, something that, you really hadn't seen much back then. And she could wrestle. I mean, hell, it was in her blood. She was Mad Dog Vachon's friggin' daughter, for Christ's sake. So, that's a great pick because mostly anything people really remember her for is when she basically was managing Bam Bam Bigelow, and then later on she was with Goldust when he was doing that whole weird Marilyn Manson thing and when he was feuding with Vader time. So, yeah. That is a worthy pick, I must say, my good man. Very worthy indeed.
I can see Miss Nighthawk's making her list over there. I can see her writing stuff down.
I got to go through this and make sure I don't mention.
She's adding more lists to her kill shot, to her kill shot list.
All right, people to kill list. It's getting hotter.
The list is getting longer and longer.
I'm sure.
Oh, pardon. Next
I
up.
don't actually have a list for that.
What, people to kill?
For legal purposes, I do not have a list.
Oh, yes, for legal purposes, yes. She does not have a list of people to kill. Nor do I. And I don't keep it in my shed. So, yeah, for legal purposes, we are clear.
Yes.
All right, next up, I'm going with the ravishing one, Rick Rude. Why? Now, if I'm not mistaken, Rick Rude was actually WCW World Champion at one point. Yes, he was.
Yes.
But he never had the WWF title. Another one of these guys who was one of, the best friggin' heels of the 80s and early 90s and stuff. Everybody loved Rick Rude. If you hated him, you wanted to see him get his ass kicked. And for all us heel lovers there, we got enough of him because back then, ravishing Rick Rude, he's still one of those one and only guys to me. There'll never be another Rick Rude. He was just the whole, making fun of the town, every town he was in, and bringing the girl out of the crowd and kissing her and stuff, and having the airbrushed, girls' faces on his tights and shit. Rick Rude was something else, man.
They tried to re-gimmick it with Val Venus a little bit, but that...
Yeah. Rick Rude didn't have to get all porn and smutty. He was just the ravishing one. He had that.
And then he came back as Michael. He came back as Michael's insurance policy.
Yeah, and he still holds the record for the only man who appeared on Raw and Nitro in the same night. That he did.
Yes, he did.
He was with DX, and then all of a sudden, a couple minutes later, he was coming out with the NWO over on TNT. It was like, what madness! I remember at the time thinking, how the fuck did he do that? I couldn't remember. I was trying to figure out, okay, Raw's in the Nitro's in Florida. He couldn't have flown there that fast. But then I realized, Raw was pre-taped. So he actually, Rick Rude, that was the reason why he the following, and it's the same night. Montreal Screwjob. He was real tight, and Brett Stack and the Hart family, and he didn't hesitate. After Brett, he was like, "See ya," and there was Eric Bishop. Well, Mr. Rude, welcome back to W. Road was awesome. Another time who really WF that Ultimate Hero held the.
Hell yeah, I love robots.
I love robots too. This must be Peacock TV.
Or what? So now I'm fucking up.
Now you're robotish.
Oh, great. All right. Well,
we're getting to the end of the show anyway. One of the last ones on my list of who should have held the belt. Actually, I have two. The first one being Arn Anderson.
mm-hmm.
Probably one of the
Did I even talk? Can you hear me? Or
I can hear you.
Yeah.
oh, okay. All right. It looks fine on my end.
Definitely Arn Anderson, probably one of the better technical wrestlers out there. Was only able to either carry a TV champion or a tag team champion, but he was always constantly backing Ric Flair as one of the Four Horsemen. So when you're in someone's shadows, you're never really going to get that title shot unless you turn heel on them.
Arn Anderson still sorry to interrupt, but one of the toughest bastards in the history of wrestling. I don't know if you're familiar with that infamous story where Psycho Sid stabbed him with a pair of scissors shit ton of time. Yeah, look it up, dude. No, that really happened. Yeah. They obviously did not for each other, and Psycho Sid, the moniker is fitting. He actually stabbed Arn Anderson multiple times with a pair of scissors. So tough motherfucker.
And I'm just going to rattle off the last one on my list here of someone who never held the WWE or WWF championship, for that matter, well, the World Championship. Uzo Machismo, Mr. Reza Ramon Scott Hall.
Hell yeah. Yeah, he definitely made my list as well. No doubt about it. Him and Mr. Perfect, probably considered like the best intercontinental champions. But another one, I think this probably is because it's Scott Hall. I have a feeling because of his issues or whatever.
Yeah.
Vince might want to say, I don't know if we want to put the title on Drunko Pill Popper. So,
but I mean, he had one of the most epic ladder matches at WrestleMania 10 with Shawn Michaels in that Intercontinental Champion.
Epic ladder match, really. That was like the first. Well, that was the first ladder match in WWF, and the one that really made that a part of the business. The whole infamous ladder match, right?
Yeah, no, exactly, and that really set the stage for future ladder matches to come, of course.
Oh, no doubt.
But I do think Razor Ramon could have had a good run as a WWF World Champion.
No doubt about it, buddy. I am in complete agreement there because I had him on my list as well. I have three more, and that's it for me. I put up Owen Hart, no doubt about it.
Yep.
And it sucks because I'm not positive that, even if the tragedy that befell him hadn't happened, I don't know if they ever really would have put the belts on him. Plus, I do know that from reading Bret Hart's book, he had been talking about calling it a day. He had made his money and he wanted to spend time with his wife and kids. That's another reason why he went with the blue blazer gimmick, so he didn't have to bump as much blazer. It was kind of like Foley being Dude Love. He didn't have to hit it as hard. But yeah, Owen, I mean, the match he had against Bret in the Curtain Jerker at WrestleMania 10, the greatest technical match in wrestling history, as far as I'm concerned. So there's
you're going to get that. I mean, they both trained under their dads, Stu Hart, in the dungeon. They're both going to have that technical aspect. And to your point, that was one hell of a technical match.
Oh, it was everything you want in wrestling. That match showcased what pro wrestling is all about, really. That's what I was looking for. So what happened now?
I'm sorry.
Why?
She's had too much wine.
I didn't have one.
All hopped up on goofballs, eh?
Drinking vitamin water. What the fuck?
Oh, see, that's it.
That's what they're calling it these days.
No, you
got me vitamins.
You cut out a little bit, and instead of wrestling, it sounded like you said wrestling.
Oh, God. I saw that robot shit. All right, I'll get this over with quick then if it's going that bad. I put up Jake the Snake. I would have loved to see Jake the Snake as a champion. And maybe if I had to name number one who should have, who never held it, it would be the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith.
I thought about putting him on my list.
It's weird that no one in England has ever been WWE World Champion. Nobody. Nope. Nobody. So
And
that's
then
it.
the top of my list of people who had the belt and I don't think should have, Psycho Sid. Psycho Sid. Top of my list.
Remember his Jason music?
Remember when he broke his leg?
Oh, still the most sickening. I'm sorry, that's worse than Joe Theismann getting his leg broken by Lawrence Taylor on Monday Night Football. The Sid leg break is the worst, dude. The worst.
We've played it before on the Botches show when we did Botches.
Yeah, and that's probably the biggest botch of them all, no doubt.
Yes.
Sorry, so you had Sid. Definitely, even though it was the WCW title, but Vince Russo, why the fuck was he ever champion?
I don't know.
His WCW sucked. Who do you got next?
That's all I had. That's all I
That's
had.
it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have a few because I have a lot of anger and hate inside me. So not only do we have Vince Russo, yeah, see? Look at it. That's what spawns my hatred. That's what keeps the fire burning. Yes. Oh, boy. That's the dream right there, baby. I'm just going to look and admire that for a while.
What, Enzo and his massive arm around?
This matchup right here. The thought. I'm already processing the horrible things I would do to him. It would be very violent.
Wait,
Very
what do his
violent.
arms say?
Nothing. Crap.
I think we tried to figure that out last time.
It's garbage tattoos. Trash
You
tattoos.
get that stupid tribal thing or whatever. And number 2.
Oh, he would have a tribal crap tattoo, wouldn't he?
And it looks like a microphone on his hand.
Am I wrong? Don't you just want to slap him in the face? Just look at him. Come on. You can't tell me you don't want to hit
It looks
him.
like the tools that I see on the weekend in Main Street. Amy knows.
Oh, I'm sure. I had my own on Main Street in Hyannis for about 4 years. Good times. So, yeah. Thank you. I mean, he was never champion, but I thank you for bringing up my hate for Enzo. Still waiting for that reply, buddy. Next up. Yep. Gotta keep that hatred alive.
Gotta keep that fire fueled.
Now, this should come at no surprise because I just mentioned earlier in the show how much I fucking hate this guy. Jinder Mahal. Why Jinder Mahal was ever WWE champion, I will never understand. Speaking of, I don't understand. Vince McMahon was WWE champion. And I don't even recognize him as ECW champion because that was not the ECW World Heavyweight title. That was the crap WWE ECW championship. So, yeah, Vince was WWF champion. Were they still WWF then? Or was he the E? Okay, yeah. I mean, it was one thing when Vince won the Royal Rumble. That was actually pretty awesome. Because then that set up the St. Valentine's Day Massacre match and stuff. But Vince never should have held the belt.
No.
Poor taste. David Arquette, speaking of never should have held a world title. Even he will admit he never should have been WCW World Heavyweight Champion. The Great Khali, why? Don't get it. He was world champion in WWE.
And Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, it's because Vince just loves gargantuans. He really loves just tall dudes. I know that's his thing. I mean, hence that's why we got what was his name? Bodysuit man there. Giant Hernandez. Yeah, Gonzalez. Yeah.
Hernandez.
Giant Hernandez. Yes, Giant Aaron Hernandez. He's a murderer and he's hairy. He wears a bodysuit that's covered in blood. And lastly, I this is probably going to come as an unpopular opinion to many out there, but I don't care. I don't think the Ultimate Warrior ever should.
I knew it was coming.
He sucked in the ring. I mean, Hogan really didn't. Hogan had the same wrestling ability really as Ultimate Warrior, but Hogan had more selling appeal. Obviously, proved that.
They both had 30 moves.
Yeah.
Hogan had scoop slam, big boot, elbow drop, and then when you mix them up with the Warrior, it's double clothesline or double clothesline or double clothesline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just all his matches were just running, and then the Gorilla Press, and then splash. That was every match he had. That was it. And I said it before, even in that era as a kid, everyone was all Macho or everyone was all Hulkster or Warrior. I was still all Macho Man. Macho Man was still having way better matches than both of them combined back then. So that's my 2 cents there. Yeah, I'm saying it. Warrior didn't deserve it.
Fired. Not really.
I have to be hired before I can be fired.
This is fair. And that's just one man's opinion on the Ultimate Warrior. For myself, I think he should have held it, but here we are.
We will agree to disagree.
We will. We will settle it in the ring one day.
Oh, damn right.
Fist of
Taking
cotton.
back the old feud from the backyard of my parents' house in West Barnstable many moons ago.
Yes. Good times.
Indeed.
So with that, I believe next week we will do a little Wayne's World Scooby-Doo and go back in time to our first episode, maybe.
Yeah, we are coming up. I mean, this was match 17. We are coming up on what would be technically, I guess you want to call it, the first anniversary episode. It would be our 20th anniversary spooktacular. It's right around the corner. It is show 20.
I wish that would actually be around Halloween. So
I know, wouldn't that be cool?
Spectacular. Yeah.
We can make it around Halloween. We just won't do shows till Halloween.
That's one way to do it. Or we could just lie about how many shows we've done, like the Goldberg undefeated streak in WCW. Next week, we'll just come on and be like, welcome to show or match 7. You haven't seen the previous ones we've done. Which chances are people haven't anyway. So we
should do more shows so that way we do our 31st show right around Halloween.
Ooh.
Does that math work out?
I don't fucking know.
Math.
That's why I said do more shows.
Yeah. If you plus more shows with more shows, then it'll equal more shows.
Hang on. She's doing math.
No, I didn't do math. It's the 17th and it's our 17th episode.
Woo! You're right. Oh man, look at that.
That happened on another show too.
Well, strange things are afoot at the Circle K, my friend.
Happy 17th.
So now, we should have played Winger. She's only 17. 17! Because everybody loves Winger.
Sure. Fuck Winger.
Don't you still have your Monsters of Rock CD, Dave?
Dude, I found my book of CDs the other day, and what's in there kind of scares me.
Oh, that's one for the vaults, huh?
I don't even know if they still play. I gotta go find me a CD player because cars don't have them anymore.
Wow, going back in time. Yeah, I can still remember going around in the Firebird. You had the 5 books of CDs back there. Something for every occasion. This guy had it all.
I miss my Firebird.
We had some good times in that bird.
We did.
You drove me around while I was pretty drunk in that bird.
I might have been too.
It was all in good fun.
It was. And here we are, still alive to tell the stories about it, tell our grandkids one day.
That's going to be a show.
Sitting out here in our wheelchairs and our walkers in episode 3002.
I doubt I will, but I would love to get to back in my day age. That would be hilarious. I would be the coolest old man, just listen to Slayer and smoke reefer.
I'm kind of there with
You
Madison.
not do that already?
Yeah, well, it's true. And I'm old, so I guess I made it.
You're halfway there.
Yes. I'm like Bon Jovi now. Whoa.
You living on a prayer? Or you want it dead or alive?
Yeah, probably option B. Wanted dead, Cactus Jack style.
Through some barbed wire and some plates of glass.
Depending on who you ask, that probably is a true statement. So yeah, next week we're going to do something. And it's going to be right here, folks, on the old youtube.com/Hell Entertainment 666.
Throwback Tuesday. Motherfuckers.
That's
Let's
what we're
go.
going to call it. Throwback Tuesday.
We're going to get all diddly-do, and
right
see
here. Come and find it.
How it all began.
On that note, we will see you next week for the Throwback Tuesday, as Miss Nighthawk has just named next week's show.
It's official. We're going back in time. Sorry, I just said that, but it's
what?
Huey Lewis.
You forgot motherfuckers. That's part of the name.
Throwback Tuesday, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Facts. We're going back to the future.
It's the one that says motherfucker on it.
Oh, good golly, old Molly. Time
We
to
have
wrap this show up as we're just rambling on. I'm the podcast kid. That is Jack Torrance. That is Nighthawk. We will see you next Tuesday, right here on YouTube.
Yee.
Hasta la pasta.